Hey friends, how's it going? It's Erin with What a Witch Knows, debuting my lovely new banner here. I'm here to do a tarot read for y'all. Really just celebrating the end of these retrogrades, or at least the Mercury and the Saturn retrograde. That was some rough shit, man. I'm glad that we're done with that. I don't know about you guys, but November was rough. It was not a fun month. There was a lot of old ass shit coming up to the surface that we just don't need going into the next chapter. But it was rough. You had to kind of feel it in order to release it, and yeah, oh yeah, it was not fun. So the Ten of Swords can be about just those last gasps of that really dark, dense, old emotion. And the good news about this card is that the worst is over. So thank you, Spirit. That's a good message to get here, that the worst is over. We're done. We're through. We're feeling the last of the last, just because it's old ass shit and we don't need it anymore. So I'm not even gonna focus on that. I do love that the Wheel of Fortune came up on the bottom of the deck, because the Wheel of Fortune is all about huge cycles and chapters closing and beginning again. And that's really what we're in. I do get the sense that it's like a cycle within a cycle within a cycle within a cycle. Like, these aren't just, small cycles that we're closing out. These are massive cycles. They're ancestral cycles. They're collective cycles. So within our personal transformation, we're actually transforming our past, our future, our not just for us, but for our ancestors and for our children. So I mean, this is like massive, massive stuff here. I'm just trying to see if I want to keep. Yeah, I'm going to keep shuffling. Wow, just a lot going on. Yeah, we had the Ace of Cups. So this is really a beautiful confirmation that we're stepping into an era of just a lot of self-love, a lot of self-care, and abundance was the word that came into my head. I do think that we're going to be able to receive a lot more than we've ever been able to receive, to have, oh God, I don't even know. We're going to be able to receive much more than we have in the past, just because we've cleared all of that space out. We've cleared all of that old, negative, sticky, gross, karmic shit. And now we're in this kind of void space. We have Saturn and Neptune at the getting close to the end of Pisces, the end of the entire zodiac wheel. And then I think it's in February, they're going to meet up at the very first degree of Aries, the very first degree of the zodiac wheel. So everything in the sky right now is screaming like new starts. Let the old shit go, start the new stuff. But in order to start the new, we have to like feel, I don't want to pick this up, but I will. Well, feel the old shit, the old hurt, the old pain, and we have to let it go. I'm not saying there won't be hurt and pain in the new cycle. I'm just saying that like it won't be stemming from all of these years and years and years of stuff that we've been holding on to, and that's including ancestral stuff and collective stuff as well. The Page of Wands came up. Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of us, we're starting to step into new passion projects, new things that make us feel excited. We're following our intuition in the sense that we're following our passion. We're following what makes us feel good, what makes us feel lit up, what makes us feel really excited to get up in the morning. Those messages of excitement are messages from your intuition. They're messages to follow that path, follow that direction. Even if you don't know the end of the story, even if you don't know how it's going to land or how it's going to work or the practicalities of it all, do what you can do to the extent that you can in your current situation to follow those passions, because that's going to lead you to a place of that abundance and wealth and happiness and receiving. And then underneath that, we have the Chariot. So I think this is going to happen really fast for a lot of us. I think, in December of next year, we're not going to really recognize who we are in December of this year. I think things are going to accelerate. I think they have been, but just like buckle up is the message I'm getting. Like buckle up, like get ready for things to start really, really, really snowballing. So not just moving, but expanding as we move, expanding our intellect, expanding our heart, expanding our horizons, expanding our emotions, all of these sort of new energies that are starting to land on the planet, energies from the sun, energies from 3i Atlas. These are all contributing to this expansion, this wave of expansion that we're feeling right now. And then under that is strength, which is really beautiful. I am getting this message that it's not just our own strength, but it's the strength of our community, the strength of spirit that we have to lean on, that we have to draw from. We have almost like a well, like we have a resource, something that we can pull from to help us in these times when we're feeling like it's a void and we don't know the next step. We're unsure and we're scared because we don't know, right? We're raised to be terrified of the unknown, so anything that is, not clear to us is going to make us afraid. But that's something that we're going to be asked to really sort of test ourselves with that and see how strong we can be, and make sure that we do feel confident in ourselves moving into that new era. Yeah, no, this was just a confirmation of all the shit we've been leaving behind. No, I think for a lot of us, and I think you like leave it in the comments if you can relate, but November, it was just like anxiety, it was stress, it was insecurity, fear. It was a lot of those old emotions that it's like you're familiar with them because you felt them for so long. So it's almost like when they're coming up, you know what they are because they've ridden with you for so long. But they were actually very, very intense, and even more intense than normal coming up this past time around, just because that's what happens when you're releasing them for the last time, right? So just to give you guys that sort of, I hope it's a comfort that it wasn't just you feeling that, like we're all feeling this. And it was, coming up to be released. You weren't feeling it for nothing. You were feeling it for a reason. And now we're moving past that. We're moving through it. We're pushing through it. Yeah, so this is actually interesting because this is a card about feeling stuck. And I think this is maybe like how a lot of us feel right now. I think we do potentially feel kind of stuck, but with that Chariot card, I think it's an illusion. I don't think we're actually stuck. I think it's one of those situations where you plant the seed and there's all of this stuff happening, but below the surface, it looks like there's nothing happening, but then the sprout comes up and it winds up, like a beanstalk going up really, really fast. So we're in that in between right now where it's about to bust through the surface and we're like, where is it? Where's my manifestation? You know what I mean? But just, I know I hate giving people the message to be patient. I personally hate getting that message because I feel like I have been fucking patient and I don't want I just don't want to fucking hear it. But I think that is the message coming from spirit, and unfortunately I'm going to have to relay it. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So actually what's interesting is that beneath that, beneath that stuck ass card was the Eight of Wands, which is all about fast movement, really fast movement. There could even be eight areas of your life where you're seeing things completely change very, very quickly. So again, I would just say buckle up, get ready, learn those practices that make you feel stable inside, especially if you're someone who struggles with change, if you feel the need to control the exterior world a lot. Learn practices like breathing practices, learn practices like EFT, Jinsen Jitsu, things that make you feel stable in your own interior sense of self. And get used to checking in with yourself and seeing if your energy is all over the place. And if so, what do you need in that moment to get centered and get stable, even though the world outside you seems like it's a fucking circus? What do you call it? One of those things I'm getting the image of one of those things at the fair that go around really fast, like the scrambler, or like, it's not a Ferris wheel because it's fast. It's faster than the Ferris wheel. It's like one of those things that really go fast. I'm getting the image that that's what it's going to feel like. But if we can get to the center of all of that, that's in our heart, right? So if we can do that, we can find that interior stability. We won't have anything to worry about, even though everything outside us is going to be shifting very quickly. I think some of these changes, especially on a personal level, are going to be very positive changes. And I actually do think that even though the collective stuff is going to seem like it's a lot of crumbling, like a lot of stuff falling apart, in the long run, this is all happening because we're trying to build something new, and it's the new stuff rising up, and that's why the old stuff is crumbling. So guys, if you're interested in reading with me, check my link either in the description box or in the bio. I read in person about 3 days a month at Witch Please New York in Beacon. It's an amazing little spiritual shop, just a really cool community space in Beacon, which is a lovely little upstate mountain town. If you haven't come to visit us, please do. I'm also going to be at the Cirque de Creep in Beacon on December 6th, which is a really fun, awesome alternative night market. A lot of other cool witchy dark vendors are going to be there. Also, wherever you are in the world, if you want to grab a reading with me, check out my website, which is whatawitchknows.com. And my 15-minute readings are on sale for 15% off. That'll be on sale for a couple more days. I also do astrology. So if you really want to go in depth, see like what your personality traits are, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what your destined trajectory in life, what your karmic lessons that you're learning in life, check out my astrology readings, because that will go in depth with that, especially with the birth chart reading and the stars and cards reading, which is going to talk about the current transits and how it's talking to your birth chart right now. So guys, I will see you very soon. Bye.